We're back.
Indeed, we are, folks.
We are back for another Friday. Another Friday with the Odoms.
Absolutely. Welcome to the Venom and Vision podcast, folks. Happy Friday. Happy 3rd of July. Tomorrow, hopefully, everybody will be
Barbecuing.
barbecuing and getting their bellies full and fellowshipping with people they love and want to be around. And
Even though we celebrated already Juneteenth.
yeah, we celebrated our
So are we
actual.
supposed to technically celebrate July 4th?
No, that's how I feel about it. But we did invite some people over and we're gonna throw some stuff on a grill and rejoice and enjoy each other's company and cool out.
It's hot, y'all.
It is hot.
I just been chilling. I don't know what it feels like outside.
It feels like the devil's mouth.
But welcome to the Venom and Vision podcast. The podcast where we keep it real about life, love, and everything in between. We are your hosts, John and Erin, and around here we are not afraid to talk about the sweet, the messy, and the shrewd. Most people avoid. So sit back, relax. Let's get into it.
What we talk about today, my love?
Preparing for marriage, becoming the husband or wife that you're praying for. That's and that's just kind of bringing it back to the root of what marriage is all about, right?
I agree.
A lot of people just kind of jump into marriage thinking that it's gonna be a fairy tale, or you think you love each other so much. It really, once you get into it ain't even about love
I
as
agree.
much.
I mean, like,
When you really delve into marriage, it is about how well can you coexist with this other person every single day for the rest of your life.
there's definitely some truth to that.
I know.
What I'll also say though is outside of the love and the coexisting, it's the work of the marriage. It's the work that goes into the marriage.
Oh
It's
wait,
the
we
thing.
didn't do our cheers. I'm drinking water because Mr. Odom here
Mhm.
tried to get me drunk already a little early
Listen, I
with
made
his
I
little
made her a cocktail.
homemade cocktails.
Nobody told her to drink it
Man,
at
it
top
was
speed.
so good. And it was filled to the top of this cup, y'all.
It wasn't all the way full with
It
liquor.
was.
Liquor
It
wasn't
felt
all
like
in
it
it.
because the way I chugged it down,
That was on you. Nobody told you to do
but
that.
you know,
Get a little bit of your water.
not even want my water. Okay. That's all you get for the rest of the day.
So
All right. So
a lot of people, focus on, finding the right person, but not enough focus on becoming the right person. So what does it really mean to prepare yourself for marriage before you ever say I do?
I mean, I think it does come up it comes down to some um some things that happen in your upbringing. Like women are raised to we learn how to cook, we learn how to clean, the basics and stuff like that. Try to if there's a father in the home, we learn how to kind of maneuver around that male presence. Um, so it does have a lot to do with upbringing as well. But when you're talking from a standpoint of like when you're an adult trying to become that husband or wife.
So as far as upbringing goes, do you think that what are more Do you think um, that the lack of seeing what a marriage is versus seeing what a marriage is, a successful marriage?
Mm.
Do you think the lack of seeing it versus the lack of not seeing it weighs uh, on how you see marriage or how the person in
That has a lot to do with it as well. Because if you're brought up in a household where your parents are both married, they've been married for a long time, you see, especially if it's a healthy marriage, then you see how things are supposed to go. And you kind of you're going to try to incorporate certain things from what you've seen in your own marriage. Um, Now, for a lot of us who have been raised in single family households, you don't get to see that. So it's kind of like you have to learn from outside sources, um, and just kind of develop your own meaning, your own values when it comes down to marriage. So
okay, that's right. So, do you think that more people are marriage ready or just relationship ready? And what's the difference between wanting companionship and actually being prepared for the responsibility and sacrifice and communication and commitment marriage
I don't think
requires?
I don't think anybody is really prepared
Why not?
for all of that. It all sounds good.
Hmm.
Like it all sounds good to fall in love with somebody or somebody comes sweep you off your feet and stuff like that. Everything is always good in the beginning
Hmm.
of any relationship.
So, what I think that there are ways to prepare yourself for that. I think you first have to, you know, be in a place of um, knowledge of self. You have to know yourself well enough to know, you know, what you like, what you don't like, what you're
Mhm,
gonna allow.
mhm,
There's certain things you're gonna bend on, certain things that are just deal breakers.
mhm,
You know, that takes knowing yourself. Uh, it may be through trial and error, but I think mostly it has a lot to do with you know where your um, where your standards lie. A lot of people don't have standards. They just say, "Well, I like who like me,"
mhm.
but do you like you?
Right,
You know, um, you know, they can like you, but not value.
right.
And there's a difference between liking somebody and valuing somebody.
Mhm,
I think I'll start with men. With men, preparing yourself to be a husband, you need to be emotionally mature and be able to handle conflict. So, with emotional maturity, hey, my emotional maturity, um, I think it comes with um, being able to listen to your partner and maybe not fully understand, but listen to understand, and then ask probing questions. Also, be able to differentiate between um, when she needs you to just listen, when she needs a problem solved.
mhm.
Because we as men tend to immediately go to, all right, well, how can I solve this problem? And instead of trying to listen, because you may just need him to listen, you may just need
Right.
him to just be quiet and let you vent and get it off you,
Mhm,
and start your day off. Or end your night. So I think that's one way he could prepare himself to be a husband. What's the way you think a man could prepare himself to be a
Mm. um, for a man to prepare himself to be a husband. Well, I could say for one who is, if you're in a relationship with kids, with somebody that has kids, you have to open yourself up and realize that this woman is a package deal. Um, and it's not just going to be um, just you and her all the time. Um, you have to think about stuff like that. But definitely just try to get out of a selfish standpoint. But that goes for both. That goes for both.
well, when
The
we
men and women, huh?
when we get to the praying yourself for wife, you can delve a little bit deeper into that
Hmm.
for ladies. I think that um, for men, training himself to be a husband, he has to learn how to lead without controlling.
Right.
I think there is a significant difference in being able to lead or what is a leader as opposed to someone who's trying to have control. Now, in leading, there is you definitely need to have some sort of control over the situation, but not to the point where there's no individuality for your wife or your partner or she can't make decisions or you don't go to her with um, you just make decisions without her without caring about the overall impact it's going to take on the family.
Hmm.
Um, I don't make a decision without consulting you. Now, whether I agree with it, I still hear your point of it and decide whether or not to make the decision based
Hmm.
on that. I don't just jump out the window and be like, "Yeah, uh, I'm the man. You gonna do what I say because of this." Also, I think what we men have to understand is that in leading, you have to know what your partner needs, and that comes with the communication. You have to know the needs of your team. That's the children, your wife. You have to know what they need in order to properly lead. I think now I'm far more of a leader than I was in the beginning of our marriage. And
I agree.
you know, I see it in how you react to me and how the kids react to me and things of that nature. I think that's something that we men have to uh, take the time to really get ourselves into a situation where we have to look in the mirror, and there's a level of accountability we have to have. Because if we are to set the tone, we have to realize that everybody's going to follow the tone we set. So if you feel like she's being more masculine or she won't listen, it's maybe because you haven't put her in a position to uh, feel comfortable enough
Hmm.
to let down. Uh,
Those guards.
yeah. Uh,
Absolutely.
so, what other ways can a man um, be able to?
Be compassionate to, like you said, just kind of know what she needs or be compassionate to what she needs. Like we had a conversation about because of the video I had sent you
Which
and
one?
about the couple, the difference between the way that the couple, the husband used to react to his wife when she was like in a bad mood and
Hmm.
crying and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like
yeah.
that,
Hmm.
He was like, "I'm gonna just leave you alone because yes, you used to do stuff like that,
Absolutely.
especially when it was like during that time of the month.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I'll leave you alone.
I still,
I'll leave you alone.
I still
No,
sometimes because from my end, it's way different. Trying to hug you and you don't get anything in return, or you don't get any sort of response. Makes me feel like, well, let me leave her ass alone. Then
yeah, but sometimes it's why because you be playing so much. You play a lot, and you be joking,
I mean, I
and
keep
I
some
don't be.
levity in it. You want me to
Sometimes
walk around with a
I
robot?
don't be even wanting to be around because you play too much.
So I'll leave you alone.
So sometimes if you would just kind of like this is something you can just kind of listen to and maybe learn to adhere to. You could just grab me up, just rub my back. You know what I'm saying? Bring me my favorite things that like
I
the
do now.
chocolate
Now I
and
do go
stuff
get
like
you.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
I
be
was about
giving
to
me a
say
big old bag of chocolate.
I'll do that. I'll come back with
But you can
63 pounds of
fix me
chocolate.
some tea because sometimes I be getting cramps and
All
stuff like
right, I
that.
can do that. I can do that. That's not a problem. See, did you say that? You know what I mean? Shit.
I have, I have, I have.
Maybe
Mhm.
previously,
When
not
it's
recently.
through one end not the other.
It's possible. Depending on when you told me about it. You know what I mean, don't tell me. I'm in the middle of moving around or something,
Mhm.
trying to get dressed or getting ready for work or something like that. Like I
You're
mean,
always moving around,
but you know what I'm talking about.
even when you're sitting still. You're moving around.
Yeah, sometimes I got to get the gas out.
You got an answer for everything, y'all. I swear to God.
Hey,
I swear to God.
I swear to God, that's how you feel. All
Gosh.
right. So another way a man can prepare himself for marriage is being dependable. And listen to this word, gentlemen: consistent. Consistency is a word that is strong in a marriage or a relationship. If you're preparing yourself for marriage, consistency.
Be consistent. Be consistent.
That's not how that goes. Y'all give me some help. Somebody help. Send help. Send help. But no, and what I mean by being consistent is don't deviate from what the plan is. If you started off making sure everything's taken care of, and then you start tapering off here, tapering off there, but then you'll come back here, come back here. It shakes things up. It puts her in a place of unrest, unease. She can't be everything she needs to be if she's concerned with uh, whether or not the foundation of what you set is going to be stable enough to hold everything in the road.
Is the floor gonna crumble beneath my feet?
Correct. So you have to be consistent in that. If she can see that, you'll be quite surprised at the woman you get, unless she's just a trash woman, because they have them out there just like they have trash men out there. But I think consistency is definitely a staple for you as a man to be able to uh, initiate the necessary patterns of growth to set yourself up for a wife. What
Mhm.
else? What are you thinking for men?
Hmm? For men,
Uh-huh.
healing from past relationships before bringing baggage into a marriage.
I completely agree with that. Go ahead and elaborate.
Like, don't bring what happened previously into your current situation
Uh-huh.
because you're not dealing with the same person. You're not in the same atmosphere. You're in a whole different realm of a relationship.
I hear often how men say all women do this, all women do that, all women do this. She's still gonna cheat. You can do this, this, and this, and I hear the same thing from women. But we'll talk about that in a second. But you know, when I hear that, to me, it says two things. One is that you need to have better discernment on who you're choosing, uh, because if all the women you've dealt with have been that way, then maybe you're choosing the wrong type of woman, Big Tom. You might need to hit the brakes and hit the reset button on how you move it and what you're attracted. You know what I'm saying? But you shouldn't bring what was into what is, especially not knowing what's to come. You know what I mean? Because you might ruin a good woman because of your past traumas of having a bad.
Right.
It's nasty work. You can't let that hurt um, overload your healing process. You know what I mean? I don't think anybody should be going through that or doing that. And I probably say the last thing a man would probably want to do to make sure he's preparing himself for marriage is understanding the weight of providing, protecting, and partnering. It is a heavy weight to carry, big time. I want you to understand that. Because if you're really going to be the protector and provider, she's going to need you to be exactly that. And that weight is heavy. It's not for the weak. You can't be running around here when you feel like you want to provide and you want to protect, and people take protection like they think it's just physical protection, like somebody's going to break in a house and I'm going to just rustle them to the ground. No, protection is far more than that. I'm protecting not only your physical, I got to protect your mental, I got to protect your emotional, I got to protect your spiritual uh, parts of you. And there's a weight that you have to carry in order to do that as a man. Um, I have to make sure you're good mentally because that's how the house runs because of how you are mentally. I have to make sure I'm protecting your mental. I have to make sure I'm protecting your emotional um, and your physical as well. Especially starting off with, I have to protect your spiritual. Pray with you. Um, you know, pray for you. Making sure that you're good mentally. This is more than just protection physically. You provide these things to her. You have to provide those things if you're preparing yourself to be a husband or someone she can look to provide. You provide more than just protection physically. If somebody break into the house, what if nobody ever breaks into the house? Where's your protection at? You have to protect her emotionally, and you have to protect her spiritually, mentally, emotionally. So she in turn can give you what it is you need. That's the last thing I'm gonna give you to and to know that the weight of that is heavy, and you have to be as a man able to carry that. And for a long time, for the first part of our marriage, I was unable to carry it because I didn't understand the weight. Uh, so, you got to get out of your own way sometimes.
Mhm.
Especially because if you haven't seen what a marriage looks like, it's going to be harder for you to carry that weight. You know. But so now, what do you think starts off women preparing to be a wife?
Preparing women preparing to be a wife. So I'm gonna blend the two together because having a strong faith in God is key as well, uh, for both. Because if you don't put God first,
It all falls down.
It really does. It can crumble, and you have to just learn how to pray for your marriage, pray for yourself, and your part that you play in the marriage. And as women, pray over your house. I pray every morning in the shower. You don't know it because I don't really. I want to kind of explain it to you, but
I do the same.
I just have a habit now of praying out loud every single day
Amen. There's nothing
through
wrong
the
with
house, and it helps.
that. I
It
agree.
really helps. It helps for my own sanity, my own mental well-being. It really does help. Uh, as far as preparing, I mean, like I said, we as women, we're pretty much raised to kind of clean and cook and stuff like that. So if you've done that for most of your life and into adulthood, then that's kind of like a given. Take care of your man, wait till his heart is through his stomach, that kind of thing. So those values are already instilled. It's just a matter of kind of keeping them up. Um,
What about
and valuing what?
no go ahead.
And just valuing your husband, valuing yourself as a wife to also take care of your husband. Just as much as he has to take care of you, you still have to take care of him.
I think one way a woman can prepare herself for a wife is um understanding partnership versus competition.
Oh, I was supposed to go around the bullets.
Yeah.
I was just kind of elaborating
Yeah, I
on.
got you. So I'll let you go ahead and start that one. I'll do the next one.
That's how you cut me off.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was like, hey, where you going? You're jumping off the train.
Oh shoot. Okay. Creating emotional awareness and communication. Communicate
Send help.
with your husband. As much as sometimes you don't want to communicate because you kind of stop yourself from putting your hands around his neck sometimes.
Cold blooded.
Just still communicate. Take a deep breath. Take three and just communicate.
I want to delve into the understanding partnership versus competition. Um,
Okay.
there are, I listen to a lot of these TikTok lives, and I scroll Instagram and things of that nature, and what I hear from more women than men in this particular scenario is there has to be some sort of competition. Um, I make more than him.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
he doesn't do this, or I can do this by myself. I don't need him for this. Um, that isn't bringing in any sort of unity. It's all separation. That's where the competition comes from. Um, they want equality, which is nothing wrong with equality. However, full equality will be if like 50% of all women were doing oil rigging, or 50% of all women were doing ice trucking. You know what I mean? That type of stuff. If you really want equality,
So, okay.
you know what I'm saying? Like let's if everybody was doing it, if half of the women on earth and half of the men on earth are doing the exact same jobs. That's where the equality comes in at. You know what I mean? So I don't understand where the whole thing with competition came from. Uh, but it's madness,
Social media.
right? And partnership it
Just
is knowing that if something has to get done, we'll get it done together as a unit.
it's become more of a business, a business contract, because it does have a heavy focus on who makes more than who. The women are uh, more prone to just be like,
I got all
I don't need a man. I can do it on my own.
I got all these degrees.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you ladies right now, flat out. Your sex, your degrees, your the money you make, your job, your hair, your nails, your BBLs, your lip gloss, your makeup, none of that matters to a man. None of it. You know what matters to that man is how you treat him. That is it. Nothing more, nothing less. How you make him feel. If you make him feel like he's the king of the world, he's gonna go out there and go get it for you.
Yeah, but I mean, it's on both sides.
Oh, yeah, without question.
Because
Without
men
question.
have become just as bad in the way that
Yes.
they treat women.
Absolutely. There's some suckers out here. There's
I mean,
pure
it's just
suckers.
no purity in or sanctity in marriage. Is like just the talk of marriage
So
anymore.
what do you think is another way women can prepare themselves
Ooh,
for
Lord, learning patience, forgiveness, and teamwork.
go ahead and elaborate if you don't
That
mind.
like that's a big one, because a lot of times patience you don't have you learn how much patience you actually have when you're in a marriage, because of certain situations in which you have to consider the feelings of the other person. You can't just make all the decisions on your own. You have to learn how to work together to create this equal space, this space that you're both sharing together. You have to learn how to just work together, and sometimes it takes a lot of patience.
I think where a lot of women lose patience at is there's two things. One is some women want the finished product already. They don't want to stand beside him when he was grinding it out to get there. You
Mm-hmm.
know, there is a woman say, I can't raise a man, or I can't build a man.
Mm,
I can't build a man up. He needs to have it when he meets me. Then what does he need you for?
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if he has it when he needs you, when he meets you, I would rather, or they say struggle love. Uh, Rich people struggle too.
Hmm.
Like I don't know if you know that love sometimes is more than just love. To
Yeah.
be in a marriage and things like that, like you have to be able to build with each other.
And you hear, I mean, I hear it a lot. A lot of women will be like, I just don't have time. I don't have the time for that. I don't have time for this, you know?
So why would he have time for you after he done grinded himself to oblivion in order to get to where he is gone? I tell people, I tell young men and dudes that ask me for advice all the time. Find someone who will help you to motivate you on your path, who'll give you water on your when you see your beat and you can't take any more steps. She says the right things, does the right things. They'll make you stand up and continue on what it is your mission is. Don't find yourself with someone that's been waiting at the finish line for you.
Mm.
And I tell, and the second thing,
Oh, I got a good one too.
and the second thing is what I learned about women and their patience and preparing themselves for a man, for a wife.
I thought I was doing this part.
Yeah, I was just going with
You're
you.
not a wife.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
okay.
deal with the husband too. You elaborated with the
Yeah, you're
husband
doing
part.
all the talking.
I just want to say this part.
Oh, okay. What? Good. Yo! These kids.
Children.
Go ahead.
No, only thing I was about to say is, um, ladies, don't find yourself with a man based on his potential that you see in him, but he doesn't see it for himself. That's the wrong type of patience. You know what I mean? If he doesn't have to get up and go for himself, and you being patient and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting because of what you see in him, you're gonna beat your. It's going in a vicious circle.
So here's another one. Women, stop trying to be his mother. You're not.
Mm, mm. Elaborate on that, Miss O.
Do I have to say it a little bit louder?
To the people, for the ladies in the back,
For the people in the
still got their headphones on, looking at their phone.
stop trying to be his mom because you're not. If you feel what you doing, that you don't mess up the thing, church's money. Oh my goodness. Okay. But yeah, because that is a lot of women feel like they have to be, or they'll say, "Oh, he needed a mother, or he needed a mom," uh, things like that, and that kind of hit because it's true for a lot of us. A lot of women feel like that, and you know what? Just don't be like um when you're feeling like that, just kind of scale back and be his wife.
So, do you think that in reverse, I hear women say, "Well, I can't be his mom. Uh, he should already know how to do certain things that I need without me having to tell him." What do you think about that?
That's where the communication comes in. And it's like if he doesn't do certain things, then he just doesn't do certain things. Or he hasn't gotten to that point yet. I mean, it just depends on what it is. Like basic shit, a man should know certain things already just because of being a man. Just like women should know certain things from being a woman.
Well, to that, I'll play devil's advocate and say this: not every woman's the same. What you
Right.
may require, the last woman may not have.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And vice versa for men.
Mm-hmm.
So it is imperative from the start that you letting this man and letting this woman know what it is that you need for you. Because the basics may not be what they need. You know what I mean? Maybe they're not even looking for the basics or what most people would define as the basics. The basics for them may be something completely different. You know what I mean? So I think that's where there has to be some sort of communication from the jump. You know what I mean? You have to, and that's on the person that needs to, that wants something from the other person, that needs something from the other person. They need to be able to know that for themselves to be able to communicate that.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So I'll say that. So let me ask you this: do you think single people keep people single?
Who's squeaking?
I don't know.
Oh, what the? You said, do I think single people keep people single?
Yes. Do you think single people keeps
Birds of a feather flock together.
misery loves love company? So,
Because it's like, if I hung out with if I hung out with mostly single people, I'm not looking for anything else other than that. I can't be because I'm having a time of my life. I'm going out and doing doing as I please. Um, I'm not preparing myself because I just want to live this single life.
mhm.
So what? You want some water?
Sticking to the bullets, man.
But you asked me a
I
question.
know. I got it.
Oh, dang, babe. I can't go by this. You know,
Yes, you can. That's what they're there for. So I'll
get a
start it off with.
teleprompter.
I started off with this. You know how many people? I think who I'm gonna give you. I don't know because I hear it from dudes too. This term right here. You don't need anybody. Or for men, it's these hoes ain't loyal.
Mm,
You know what I mean? So uh, for women, it's I don't need you don't need a man, and that shit is taken to an unhealthy extreme. Like for you saying you don't need anybody to somebody who's looking for somebody or who's trying to prepare themselves for somebody because you ain't preparing yourself for somebody, it's maddening. You know what I mean? Like those ain't the people you want to be around anymore. You know what I mean? Like if you're trying to find yourself and find your way and change who you are and where your mindset is, and you want to be a husband, you want to be a wife, the type of people that are going to you want to surround yourself with the people that are married or are also trying to become married. You don't want nobody to be running around here with you talk about you don't need anybody and things of that nature because
mhm.
you'll find yourself with
By yourself.
nobody. I promise you that. Um,
Yeah. But there's a lot of people who have fear of commitment and they disguise it as independence.
mm, I'm gonna let you go into that one.
Um, so the fear of commitment, uh, being in something healthy with somebody else, a healthy connection. A lot of people are scared of what might happen.
Mm. But you know what they say if you
It could be just because of past trauma or past relationships that were not the best. And so they take that past trauma, because like we were saying before, into what could be.
so where does the independence come in at that?
Oh, you're pulling my
I'm sorry.
headphones. Okay. Um, People just saying I'd just rather be by myself. Um, being able to come and go as you please, not having to worry about somebody else's feelings. That's a big one. That's a big one.
Did you think you fell into that before?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Most agree.
But you've grown.
I'm a pretty independent person, but I have come into I've developed a new insight. Uh, of marriage. And
Burp with acid reflux on that joint.
okay.
Yeah, it's coming off. There you go.
uh, but yeah, like I said, prayer changes things. It really does. And um,
Like your growth has been spectacular.
okay, I know. I know. No, but I know for real.
Supposed to say thank you.
Because, huh?
Supposed
Thank
to-
you.
yeah.
Thank you. But uh, it's it you kind of become enlightened, especially when it's been so long you've been with somebody. And you just have to like realize this is your person.
Absolutely.
You think I'm your person?
Yeah, because shit, nobody else is. I can't be who I can't be my complete self with anybody else. You know what I mean?
I agree.
I can't, and I wouldn't even
I don't
attempt
think
to.
you can either.
No, absolutely not. Um, Also, I think you don't need you need friends that will encourage your standards, but not encouraging growth. I mean, you don't need friends that are encouraging your standards, but not encouraging your growth. You want people around you that want the best for you and will call you on your shit. You know what I mean? You want people to be able to be like, hey, the way you're going about this right now is not conducive to what you said you want for yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean? Instead of saying, yes, girl, you don't need that clock it and all that dumbass shit. Or your homeboys telling you, yeah, man, these hoes ain't loyal. I'm telling you, when you don't know what you doing, who she talking to when you ain't home. You at work, she be having niggas running through your house, all kind of shit. You know what I
You
mean?
know what? It's crazy. I mean, I don't, right, I don't have a whole bunch of friends,
Mhm,
but those few friends that I had in Charlotte,
mhm.
they were very like supportive during our time apart. They really were. And like
Shout out to the ladies.
some of them were like, I'm gonna be right here. If you decide to get back with your husband, I'm gonna be right here. I'm like, okay, girls, go ahead.
And look what
They
you.
really did.
That's good.
Even like the people in the kitchen, what's her name? She kept on saying, "Where's how's John? How's I don't know. He over there in Columbia."
Mm,
That's what I would tell her. Oh, you gonna go back over there? So you moving to Columbia?
mm.
And yeah, guess what
She predicted
happened?
the future.
But they were all very supportive, and that was crazy how that happened.
Another thing single people do, and to try to keep people single is, they keep them they keep them stuck in a single life habits that don't prepare you for marriage. You know what I mean? So, like you said, going out to the clubs, uh, moving like you're a single person. Even if you have somebody, you don't tell me what to do, wearing scantily clad clothes. You still on the block with the homies. You don't come home, and when you come home, you're all blitzed and drunk. And the only thing you want to do is
Coming home at a late hour.
listen. That'll get you thrashed, bashed, and smashed. Trying to come home late at night to get you locked out so they get you straight up. Um, you know, uh, and another thing is taking advice from people who have never built the thing you're trying to build. Listen, folks, do not, under any circumstances, listen to
Take
motherfuckers
advice.
who have never been married, won't ever get married, and don't want to get married. All of their relationships have failed. They don't know how to keep a man or keep a woman. they are the last people you need to be talking to about a relationship or anything of that nature,
Right.
because it's insane to think that that's going to work. I can't see if anybody has
That
commented
was
or
funny.
anything.
Because you know how that happened last time.
Hmm.
Oh, oop, I don't know.
You gotta go to my
But
pages. See if anybody commented, because I can't see the comments today, y'all. I don't know what's going on with this joint. Okay, no comments. Good. All right. All right. So, yeah, absolutely. Stay away from people who have never been in any sort of
committed
successful relationship.
successful relationship.
And another thing, you may lose friends. You may lose friends, or so-called friends, because they're going to want you to still do what you used to do as someone trying to find yourself somebody. And if that's not where you want to be in life, don't be afraid of disappoint, because their path isn't yours, and not everybody can go. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna ask, y'all this: are you asking for a spouse who matches your standards while ignoring your own growth? So
Are you becoming the person your future spouse would feel safe, loved, and respected with? Are you becoming that person? And if not, that's okay. You can take your time, take as much time as you need, because once you get into that commitment, you're kind of the goal is to stay committed.
absolutely.
The goal is to stay committed. So a lot of people rush into marriage without crossing all of their T's and dotting their I's, and then they feel kind of stuck. They feel kind of stuck, and then there is results in double divorce. It results in just messy situation.
So I'm going to ask this last question before we close it out. And I want everybody to think about this question. If the person you've been praying for showed up tomorrow, would you be ready for it? Would you be prepared? Would you have everything they need in order for your marriage to be successful or your relationship to be
You guys can
successful?
put your comments if you want to answer that question. You can put your comments in Facebook. You can put your comments. You can email us your comments.
And
You can
Venom and
email us
Vision.
the answer to that question. Again, the question is, if the person you've been praying for showed up tomorrow, would you actually be ready for them? So that goes for both men and women.
And
If
you
you were
can,
to meet your future tomorrow, would you be ready?
and where would they email?
Oh,
Because
you don't know?
that's what I was trying to tell you. You kept stepping going over me.
Sorry. You can email us at Venom and Vision the podcast. Venom and Vision the podcast at gmail.com. Okay. That cocktail got me. I'm ready to turn in. I'm ready to go.
Party over for you. See, I didn't even drink mine. Sad,
And I
sad.
gotta work tomorrow.
Guess who?
And host.
I'm gonna be.
Well, yeah, you're doing most of the work.
I'm about to say,
But
ma'am, madam. And I'm also like, share, and subscribe to the channel on YouTube.
On YouTube at Venom and Vision, the podcast.
Absolutely. We're about to start broadcasting on Instagram as well. So make sure you're liking, subscribing, sharing. And also, if you have any questions, comments, or
Want to write
stories,
us a letter.
need some advice, uh, don't hesitate to hit the email, venomandvisionpodcast@gmail.com. Uh, and we will get right to you at the next show.
Thank y'all for tuning in.
See y'all next
Enjoy
week.
your 4th of July
Be safe.
weekend.
Be
And we will
safe.
see y'all next Friday at 10.
Be safe, but do it till you're satisfied.
So you're satisfied.
Later.
Good night.
When I tell you it was taking everything in me.